Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JC Sports Replay's presentation of Payoff Pitch Baseball. My name is Joe, and I'm here to bring you a wonderful payoff pitch game tonight, the final game of the first week of my 1969 replay between the visiting St. Louis Cardinals and the hometown New York Mets here at Shea Stadium. Pardon me while I get my chat set up. It's been a little while since we've streamed anything. But tonight, a game I can't resist streaming. On the mound for the visiting Cardinals, all-time great Bob Gibson. And on the mound for the Mets, Hall of Famer Tom Seaver. Hello, Ben. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Let me do a small adjustment to the alignment of everything in the planet. It's time to meet the starting lineup for your St. Louis Cardinals here in Shea Stadium. Leading off in left field will be Lou Brock. In center field, batting second, Curt Flood. Vada Pinson will bat third and play right field. Joe Torre will play first base and bat cleanup. The catcher will be Tim McCarver batting fifth. Mike Shannon will play third base and bat sixth. Julian Javier, or Julian Javier as I like to call him, will play second base and bat seventh. The shortstop Dow Maxville will bat eighth. And batting ninth will be the pitcher Bob Gibson. That's the lineup hometown hero Tom Seaver will face today. Seaver expected to go 25-7 with a 2.21 earned run average in 1969. 36 games, 35 starts, 18 complete games, 273 innings, and just 202 hits to go with 208 strikeouts. A little over 1 for his whip. He'll be facing off against Gibson, who's incredible as well. This is a premier matchup early in the season, and we're looking forward. Yeah, exactly. A couple of mooks here. Really hitting the bottom of the barrel. We called these guys up just today. You know, this was a game I couldn't resist streaming. I actually was going to stream it yesterday, kind of ran out of time. I played all the other games on this day. This is the final game of my first week of 69 here in my payoff pitch replays. So, without further ado, we'll get things started here in Shea, which, by the way, you may notice is a pitcher's park in 69. Lefties wheelhouse 1-23, and righties a little bit better, 1-32. But with Seaver and Gibson on the mound, we may see some spectacular pitching. Seaver has 2 tough outs. That means they cannot get a hit on 5 and 6. They cannot get on base on 5 and 6. That's incredible. So, he does have a wheelhouse on 11, though, indicating he might give up some homers. Well, he's got Lou Brock stepping into the box from the left side to lead things off. And here's the first pitch. Seaver from the wind. That is a 7 in play and a 60 against a right-hander. It's going to be grounded down to third. Charles is there and makes the play. Over to the first baseman, Cranepool, for the first out of the game. That'll bring up the right-handed center fielder, Curt Flood. One away, top of the first. Seaver ready. He likes the sign from Grody. 984. That's a patient, but a very high number. Is a ground ball down to short. Bud Harrelson is there. And over to Cranepool at first again, a 6-3 for the second out of the inning. Bring up left-handed batter Vada Pinson. Seaver with the delivery. That is a 10-65. Ballpark chance. 65 for a lefty is too high. That'll be an in-play reroll. Let's see what Pinson gets. A 30 on his in-play. Too high for a hit. Pops it up on the infield. Back towards second. Garrett is there, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 for Seaver. And we will take a look at the Mets lineup and Bob Gibson. On the mound for St. Louis today is Gibson. 20-13 is his expected record, a 2.18 ERA, 35 starts, 28 complete games. That man does not come off the mound. 314 innings to just 251 hits, 95 walks, so a little over a 1 whip, and 269 Ks. He will be facing a Mets lineup that looks like this. In center field, leading off, Tommy Agee. In right field and batting second, Rod Gaspar. Batting third and playing second base today, Wayne Garrett. Batting cleanup and playing left field, Cleon Jones. Batting fifth and playing first base, the aforementioned Ed Kranepool. Batting sixth and playing third, another Ed Charles. Here's a Jerry for you, Jerry Grody batting seventh and doing the catching. The shortstop Harrelson will bat eighth. And, of course, Seaver on the mound will bat ninth. He is a 3-hitter, so not very good. With that said, Gibson is ready. You'll see his wheelhouse chances of 12. He gives up less homers, half as many, in fact, as Seaver. But he does not have those tough outs, so people can get hits off of his tough columns. Well, here's Agee to lead things off. Steps in from the right side. Gibson, also a right-hander. How about an 8-14? That's a tough. Strikes him out. Goes right after Agee with 3 pitches and sits him down. Well, here's a switch hitter, Gaspar. He'll bat left. Gibson with the windup and the delivery. That's a 4, patient, 52, and he hits him. Catches Gaspar right below the knee. Gaspar tried to dance out of the way, but that one just kept riding in on him, and Gaspar finds himself on first. And he will have a steal chance because we use the auto steal. So hold on 1 second. I like to note the hit by pitch for the pitcher. Gaspar is a C, and Jerry Grody has a pretty good arm at 2, so C2 will be a fair chance at a steal. Gaspar tries to get a lead. It's a 37, and gunned down by McCarver. So Gaspar takes off. Gibson with a quick delivery, a low ball, and Gaspar's caught stealing for the second out. That'll bring up left-handed second baseman Wayne Garrett. Here's the pitch from Gibson, a 7.64. That's in play. Grounder down to short. Maxwell is there over to Torre, and the side is retired. So a runner reaches, but he's erased on the caught stealing. None left. And a non-traditional 1-2-3 for Gibson in the first. We go to the second. Seaver will face 4-5-6. Torre, McCarver, and Shannon. There aren't a lot of big sluggers on either one of these teams. Some solid quality hitters, but no 40-homer guys. So this could be a real pitcher's duel, folks, as the air conditioning kicks on this 94-degree evening in New Jersey by way of Shea Stadium. So here's Seaver back on the mound. He'll face Torre. Torre, his first at bat of the day, a 6.06. That's tough out, and that's a strikeout. First for Seaver. Torre is down on 3 pitches. Wasting no time, either one of these guys. Here's McCarver. Steps in, he bats left. How about a 9.06? Patient. And McCarver lays off. That's ball 4. Seaver missed a little low. McCarver is a 4. The 9 will not let him steal, and that brings up Mike Shannon. Shannon, a right-handed batter, playing third today, and most days. How about a 7 in play and a 14? That's a base hit into left field. Fielded quickly there. McCarver will hold it second. So first and second here with just 1 out, and Julian Javier is coming up. Javier waits from the right side for Seaver. Seaver from the stretch. 12, that's a tough pitch. 64. A fly ball out toward right field. Gaspar has the range and makes the play. McCarver will tag and move to third on that one. Shannon retreats to first. So now it's first and third with 2 down, and here's Dal Maxwell. Maxwell in there for his glove. And Seaver comes right after him, a 6.30. Tough out. Strikes him out. Second of the day for Seaver. 2 are left for the St. Louis. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We head to the bottom of the second, still no score. Here's Gibson. He will face Jones, Kranepool, and Charles. Cleon steps in, right-handed batter. Gibson with the delivery. How about a 10.07? That's an in play and could be trouble. Jones smashes this one out toward left center. Brock is chasing it, so is Flood. Nobody's going to get it. It bounds away from them, up against the wall. Cleon's around second. Brock recovers, throws toward third, but he will not be in time to throws up the line, and Jones with a lead-off triple here to start the second. So the Mets right away, a runner on third with nobody out, and Cranepool coming up. Cranepool, a good bunter. He's a B. Will they play the corners in to try to cut off the run? They will. They're looking for a possible bunt. Playing halfway. Gibson's ready. Cranepool doesn't look like he's bunting. He's thinking about driving this one to the outfield. That'll get the run in as well, in most situations. Cranepool from the left side. Gibson. A glance at Jones. 2 steps off third. Now he's ready. And the pitch. It's a 7:54. In play. Grounded down toward third. The corners are in. I'm going to flip this over. That's a G5. Let's see what the result is on the corners in chart. A 9. The ball sneaks past the drawn-in infield. The batter is safe and the runners advance 1 base. So Cranepool slaps it past the drawn-in Shannon. That'll be an RBI base hit, and the Mets take a 1-0 lead. So Cranepool on at first. Took advantage of the drawn-in third baseman and rifled it right down the line. Quickly fielded in left field by Brock. He will hold Cranepool to a single. Hey, D. Scott Howard, nice to see you. Good evening. Tuned in for a good one here. Gibson and Seaver going at it. Gibson has already given up a run here in the second, thanks to the leadoff triple by Cleon Jones, and Cranepool slapping it past the drawn-in third baseman Mike Shannon. 1-0 Mets, nobody out, bottom of the second. And here's Ed Charles. Just want to see what kind of stealer Cranepool is. He's actually pretty good. He's a B. Charles is going to put the hit and run on. Let's see what our options are here. Hit and run. Gibson will deliver. That's a tough pitch. 31. Strikes him out, and Cranepool's going to have to try to steal. As I noted, he is a B, and he's going up against McCarver, who has an average arm, B3. It means he's got a very good chance of being safe. But a 12 is a pretty low number. Oh, he's got it stolen. And McCarver might throw it away. He's a error 2. So if we roll higher than a 2, is that correct? Yep. A 1 or a 2, it's no error. Anything higher, McCarver throws it into center field. Cranepool is on his way to third, so falling apart here early. A stolen base by Cranepool, and he goes to third on the McCarver throwing error. And now Charles strikes out for the first out, but here's Jerry Grody. Once again, a runner on third with less than 2 outs for the Mets. Let's see if they can get it done. Will they draw it in again? Well, Grody's an A bunter. They probably have to draw the corners in. Charles, not much of a... well, he's got an average run. He's got a little above average. He's a 7. But the corners are in. Will Charles lay it down? I'm sorry, will Grody lay it down? He will not. The Mets are thinking, let's capitalize here. 7-10 in play. And that 10's a base hit. A clean single. And it's 2-0 New York here. Grody is on at first. And that'll bring up Harrelson. Well, let's see if they'll keep trying to move the race runners over. 1 out here, bottom of the second. Grody off first. And Gibson from the stretch. How about a 9.77? That's a tough pitch. And it's a hit and run. Fly ball out towards center field. Grody was off on contact. Flood is ranging over. He will be there. And the question is, can Grody get back? 2d6 and the 1d10. If the 2d6 are doubles and the 1d10 is greater than the runner's run rating, that's a 7. Grody could be picked off. Nope, no doubles. Grody gets back to first. There are 2 down. Here's Seaver. He'll be hitting from the 3 column. Grody not moving on first. Just a couple of steps off. That's a 5 from Gibson. Patient. And a 99. Forget it. Fly ball out toward left. Seaver makes contact. But Brock has plenty of room, and the inning is over. But the Mets pick up 2 scrappy runs against the very, very difficult to hit Bob Gibson. And it's 2-0 New York as we head to the third inning. If you're wondering how these two teams were doing coming in, New York is off to a hot start. You're not going to be able to read that, but they are 5-0 on the young season. Very, very hot start for the Mets. Meanwhile, St. Louis struggling a bit there, 1-4. So two teams moving in opposite directions, but they've both got their aces on the mound tonight, folks, and anything can happen. New York has seized the early advantage here, 2-0, as we go to the top of the third, and it will be Gibson, followed by Brock and Flood. Seaver is ready. Gibson, a serviceable hitter. He's a 12. That's actually pretty damn good. Got a jumper. How about a 7-0-2? That's in play, and Gibson lines this one toward the gap. That's going to drop in. He's on the way to second base. The throw comes in not in time, and Bob Gibson helps himself with a leadoff double. Now, how will they play it? Gibson, obviously, a little bit of a steal threat, actually. A 6C, but probably not going anywhere. Brock's due up, and he hits righties very well, and he's a terrible bunter. So Seaver is ready from the stretch. Takes a glance at Gibson, who's dancing off second, but no real threat. The pitch to Brock. That's a 6, tough out, and a 10 strikes him out. That's one way to deal with runners on base, Tom Seaver. Just don't let anybody hit the ball. So one away, Gibson still at second here in the top of the third. It'll be Curt Flood. Pitchers that can hit are sexy, Ben. Seaver delivers to Flood. That is a 7-25. Another in play, and this is a base hit. A line drive to left field. Gibson will have to stop at third as the ball comes in quickly. Cleon Jones charges and fires to the cutoff man, and everybody has to hold up. But it's first and third now. Well, now what will they do? First of all, Flood is a 4. We rolled a 5, so no steal there. Pinson, a very serviceable hitter. Does better against lefties than righties, though. And not one of his better seasons, frankly. So Veda steps in. He's 0 for 1 on the day. The corners are in, guarding against a B bunter. Pinson will hit away. How about a 4-0-4? That's patient, and he lays off. That's a base on ball. That'll load him up. So we came in expecting a pitcher's duel, and we've got some action on the bases early. Top of the third, bases are loaded, and Joe Torre comes to the plate. They're going to be looking for a straight-up double play here. They'll concede a run if they can get 2, or even 1. 2-0 New York. Bases loaded, top of the third for St. Louis. Here's Torre. Struck out his first time up. Seaver is ready. Grody puts down the 1. Seaver shakes him off. Grody puts down the 1 again. Seaver says, all right, we'll throw a fastball then. It's a 4, patient. And a 45. This could be trouble. That's a single for Joe Torre. Gibson rushes home. Flood is around third. Pinson around second. Flood may go home. Let's see where the hit is and what kind of arm we're dealing with. A 4 is a line drive into center field. That's going to be the territory of Tommy Agee. He's got a 7 arm, and Flood is a 7 run, so he's going to try to score. They're waving him home. Agee with the throw. He's out! Higher than both the arm and the run rating. Tommy Agee with a strike to home plate, and Grody applies the tag. Flood is out 8-2. Pinson on to third. Torre ends up at second. Does picking up an RBI as Gibson scores. It's 2-1 now, New York. Second and third, 2 down, and here's McCarver. A lot of action in the early going against these two ace pitchers. You know these teams had to be jacked up, amped up that should be, to play these two, to face these two pitchers. Well, Seaver's ready. Pinson dancing around on third. Torre on second, 2 down here, top of the third, and McCarver waits. He walked his first time up. How about a 6-22? That's a tough out. Doesn't strike him out, but he pops him up on the infield, and Garrett will make the play for the third out of the inning. So the Cardinals threaten. They get 1 back and leave 2. Great throw from center field by Agee to nail Flood trying to score. And the Mets hold on to the slimmest of leads, 2-1. As we head to the bottom of the third, they'll try to add to it here at the top of the order. Agee, Gaspar, and Garrett. Gibson relieved by his team scoring against Seaver. This could be an interesting one, folks. Here's AG. Struck out his first time up. 8. That's tough. And 67. Just out of his base hit range there. Grounded down to second. No problem for Garrett. Over to Kranepool, and there's one away. Oops. I'm going the wrong way, folks. He did not ground down to Kranepool. He grounded down to Javier, who fires to Torrey to retire AG for the first out in the bottom of the third. That'll bring up Gaspar. He was hit by a pitch and caught stealing back in the first. How about a 934 tough and a base hit for Gaspar. Trickles it up the middle. A seeing eye single for Rod. Fights off Gibson. And they'll hold him at first. And here's Garrett. See if the Mets stay aggressive on the bases. It's going to be a hit and run. Manager calls for the hit and run. It's a 6-11. That's a strikeout. And Gaspar is a C against the 3-arm of McCarver. C3 is a normal chance. 48 or higher and he's safe. How about a 92? Gaspar has it stolen. So he gets into scoring position now with 2 outs on the botched hit and run. Garrett down on strikes. And here's Cleon Jones, who led off the second and scored with a triple. Jones waits. Gibson ready. The pitch. That's a 9. Tough pitch, 89. Probably going to be out of everybody's range. Yep. Hit hard on the ground toward Maxville. He's there. Takes his time, tosses to Torrey, and Jones is retired by a step. So the Mets leave 1. They still lead 2-1. Hold on 1 second. Drop the pitcher's hitting card over here. We're through 3, and it's 2-1 New York. We head to the 4th. Seaver will face Shannon, Javier, and Maxville. Shannon did not ground out to second, but who knows, maybe he will. Seaver's ready. Shannon waits. 10:55, that's the ballpark. Going to be an in-play roll for Shannon. Against a righty. That could be trouble. That's a 6. A single for Shannon. That's right. Sometimes score sheets get messy, folks. So Shannon on at first with a leadoff single and Javier coming up. Shannon not really a stealing threat. He's an F, if you were wondering. Javier, a mediocre bunter. With the bottom of the order coming up, Javier is going to hit away. It's a patient 47, and he's hit. Is that retaliation for earlier? Might be. I don't think so with a runner on base, though. That one just got a little inside. Seaver let it go, and it curled in on Javier, and now it's first and second with nobody out. And now here's a good bunter, Maxville. He'll try to move the runners up for a pretty good hitter, Gibson. Maxville, a B bunter. How about a 27? That'll get the job done. Bunted down toward third base. Fielded there by Charles. He only has 1 play. Fires over to first to retire Maxville for the first out of the inning. But it is now 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And Bob Gibson's due up. Gibson, a very good bunter. But squeeze plays are tough. And Shannon is not the swiftest. He's only a 6 running rating. So more likely Gibson's going to try to drive this ball. That's why I use pencils and erasers. I can understand that. I don't mind, though. I use pencils and erasers for my stat keeping, but the score sheets, well, you make a few corrections here and there. So 2nd and 3rd, 1 down. Corners will be in to cut off the run if possible. Gibson is a 12 hitter. He doubled and scored a run his first time up. The only run for St. Louis so far. Let's see if we can drive one in. Seaver will come from the stretch. How about a 7? In play 41. That's a line drive, but right at the second baseman, Garrett. And he snatches it out of the air for the 2nd out. Well, now the infield can play back. And it'll be Lou Brock coming up. 2nd and 3rd. Brock could take the lead here with a base hit. Seaver ready. Brock 0 for 2 on the day. How about a 9-27? Patient. And that's going to be trouble. Brock goes the other way with this one. Out toward left center field. AG is chasing it. He can't get there. It's going to kick over into the corner. Jones will field it. This one's going to go for two. A two-run double. We thought we were going to have a pitcher's duel, folks. We're getting nothing but offense early in this one. 2 runs will score. Brock gives the St. Louis Cardinals a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 4th. So Lou's on second. 2 outs. A big 2-out double for Brock. He came through in the clutch. And now it's time for Flood. Cardinals lead the Mets 3-2, top of the 4th. Brock on second, 2 down. Seaver to deliver. On 9, another patient. They're finding those today, but this one's on the ground toward the second baseman, Garrett. He takes his time and flips the crane pool to retire Flood, but 2 runs come in, 1 left. And St. Louis now leading 3-2. Good luck getting either one of these guys out of the game today, folks. At least not in the early going. Well, the Mets trailing now. They'll have Cranepool, Charles, and Grody trying to make up the difference. Cranepool's 1-for-1 with a run scored, stole a base, and scored on a Grody single. Gibson to Cranepool. That's a 797 in play. Fly ball out toward right. Plenty of room for Pinson, and Cranepool's retired for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. Ed Charles. That's my dog snoring in the background, if you were wondering. 887. How about a tough? And this one's on the ground toward short. Maxwell's there. And Charles is retired. And here's Grody with 2 outs. Gibson with a 490. Patient, but way too high for anything good. Another grounder to short. Maxwell takes his time and guns it across to Torrey to retire Grody for the 3rd out. Mets go down 1-2-3 in the 4th. We'll head to the 5th. St. Louis with a 1-run lead. It will be Pinson, Torrey, and McCarver. Pinson 0-for-1 with a walk today. Seaver ready. How about an 831? That's a tough. Strikes him out. 1 away. Here's Torrey. 913. Patient. And a base on balls. Man, Seaver's control has not been precise today. Torrey ambles down to first, and that'll bring up McCarver. Torrey not a steal threat. McCarver, 5-15, tough. That would have been a double, but it's a tough out. 15 is going to be a pop-up on the infield, and Garrett will corral this one for the 2nd out. McCarver down, and that'll bring up Shannon. Mike's 2 for 2 on the day, a run scored. 2 for 2 off Seaver is a pretty good day. Got a 425, another patient, and another walk. Tom does not have his best stuff today. Walks 2 now, 1st and 2nd, 2 out for Javier. Javier scored a run on a hit by pitch last time up. He also flew out. He's 0-for-1 in the box score. 970, another patient. This one's a high number. Another grounder down to 2nd. Garrett takes his time. And that's the inning. 2 left. For St. Louis, they get nothing in the 5th. Holding on to a 1-run lead as we go to the bottom half. And Gibson will face 8-9-1. Harrelson, Seaver, and AG. I'll tell you right now, folks, these guys are not coming out until they get shellacked or it's the 9th inning. I don't think they would let themselves be taken out in any other circumstances. Well, here's Harrelson. Flew out to center his first time, up 0-for-1. About an 858. Tough. Too high for anything else, so that's going to be a fly ball out toward right. Corralled there by Pinson, 1 away. Here's Seaver. Not a good hitter. 663. That's a tough. Strikes him out. First pitcher strikeout of the day, if you can believe that. At the plate, that is. And 2 quick outs here for Gibson in the 5th. Now AG 0-for-2. 706. That's an in play, and that's going to be trouble. This one's in the gap, and AG will have himself a stand-up double as the throw comes in from Pinson. So AG with a 2-out double. And here's Gaspar. Gaspar hit by pitch and a single. He stole a base and was caught. So 1-for-1 in the box score. Rod waits. 4, patient, 87, too high. Grounded down to short. Maxwell's there. And the inning is over. One left for New York. They still trail by one, and we'll head to the sixth. Here's Seaver. He will face 8-9-1, just like Gibson did. Maxwell, Gibson, and Brock. Gibson, a big advantage as a hitter compared to most pitchers. Well, here's Dow. 0 for 1, and he sacrificed last time. What a 5.63. That's tough. And an out. Grounder down to the very busy Wayne Garrett. And there's one away. Here's Gibson. He's a 12. 1 for 2, a double and a run scored. Seaver delivers a 6.26. That's going to be a strikeout. He gets his revenge. They both struck each other out once now. But Gibson has that double and a run scored. He's winning the battle so far, and his team's winning by 1. And here's Brock. The big 2-run double his last time up. 1 for 3 on the day. Brock waits from the left side. Seaver trying to catch the outside corner of the plate. A 6.53. That's another tough out. And a dribbler down to first base. Kranepool will take it himself. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Seaver. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth. Cardinals still winning 3-2. Gibson will face 3-4-5. Garrett, Jones, and Kranepool. Gibson ready. Garrett 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up. 7.51. Grounded down to third. Shannon's there. Garrett's retired. 1 away. That brings up Cleon. Cleon with the triple and run scored and grounded out his last time up. 1 for 2. Gibson's ready. Cleon waits. That's a 10 in play. 28 could be trouble. And through the left side, a base hit for Jones. Second hit of the day for Cleon. And now Kranepool's up. Just want to see. Cleon's a C. Not bad. Kranepool. A little bit of pop. It's hard to get that wheelhouse, though, isn't it? Doesn't strike out much. Hit and run here. It's a very good possibility. And sure enough, Jones is off with the pitch. It's an 8.07. Tough strikes him out. Jones is going to have to try to steal. He is a C against McCarver's 3. We've seen this before. And that is a 41. He's caught. McCarver guns down Jones for the third out of the inning. A strike him out, throw him out. And we'll head to the seventh. With the narrowest of margins, a 1-run lead for St. Louis. That's being aggressive on the base paths. They can't sit back and wait for the big boppers. They don't really have any. Jones is their best hitter by far. Well, here's Flood. Flood with occasional power. Seaver ready. Flood 1 for 3 on the day. Top of the seventh. St. Louis leads by 1. A 4.58 patient. And that's going to be a grounder down to third. Charles is there. Over to Kranepool, and Flood's retired. Here's Pinson, 0 for 2 with a walk today. Lefty Pinson, that's a 3.11 defense check, first of the day. Second base range. Garrett's been busy. He's got a D range. He is not deranged, however. And a 51 is just good enough. It squeaks past just under the glove. A 6 is a base hit. Let's see. I think it's just going to be a single. And it is. A seeing eye single for Pinson under the glove of Garrett. Pinson's on first and Torrey coming up. Pinson not as quick as you might think. His stealing success is only a D. And Torrey's got some pop. 12 homers against right-handers. How about a 10-23 ballpark chance? And that's going to be a wheelhouse check for Torrey. We will re-roll for Torrey's wheelhouse. First wheelhouse check of the day. Nope, that's a really high number. 92. Grounded down to short. That was an 11. Oh, that was a ballpark, excuse me. That was a 10. So it's not going to be a double play. They're going to go the short way. 6-4 to get Pinson, and Torrey will reach on the fielder's choice. No throw. Pinson with an aggressive slide. So 2 down now, and here's McCarver. Evening Sports Time Machine. How you doing? Happy Monday. We're here with a big pitcher's duel that's broken into an aggressive hit and run fest, really. Well, Torrey's on first, 2 down, and here's McCarver. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. 6-14. That's tough out. Once again, can't get the strikeout, but he pops him up on the infield, and you know who was there. Very, very busy Wayne Garrett today. 4 to third out of the inning. So no runs, and 1 hit, nobody left. Or 1 left, pardon me. And St. Louis holding on to a very slim 1-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th and the 7th inning stretch. Which means it's time for a little water. Pitchers' games are fun because they move right along usually. Well, Gibson's back out there. He'll face 6, 7, 8. Charles, Grody, and Harrelson. Here's Ed Charles, 0 for 2. I thought we'd be racking up the strikeouts, but these teams have been game today. How about a 5-18 Patient and Charles with the leadoff walk? And he's got a little bit of speed. Grody comes to the plate. Charles might be on the move. Gibson throws over, tries to keep him close. And Gibson to the plate. Charles is running. It's a hit and run. 11-0-3. Tough. Strikes him out again. Man, every time they hit and run, he's gotten a strikeout. Now he's going to be a C3 against McCarver. Can he steal this base? 91. He bet he can. So Charles steals second into scoring position. The throw is a little offline by McCarver. The Mets have had mixed success today, but they got to get those runners in scoring position. You cannot wait for a big hit against a pitcher like Gibson. Well, that's going to bring up Harrelson. Bud's got a little bit of a bat on him. Think they would hit and run here? Probably not. The pitch to Harrelson, they do not hit and run. It's in play, 14, and that's going to be trouble. A base hit through the left side. Brock's charging in. He picks it up. Charles will stop at third. They're holding him there, and Harrelson on at first. Yeah. And this is an interesting situation. I said these guys weren't coming out, but they trail, and Seaver's due to hit. First and third. I think we're going to have to go for a pinch hitter, guys. See who we've got available on the bench. No, not much, to be honest with you, but... Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong team. There's a pretty good hitter on the bench here. Pretty good lefty available. And yeah, they're going to pull the trigger, so that's going to be it for Seaver today. He goes 7. And he can only lose it unless they get one of these runs in. Well, Seaver's day is done. I'll give you his line in just 1 second. And Ken Boswell grabs a bat and heads out to the plate. But first, while Boswell gets limbered up, Seaver's line today, 7 innings. Let's see what he did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits, 3 runs. Were they all earned? That one was. Yep, 3 earned runs. Solid day for Seaver. That's a quality start, but not what you hoped for in this matchup. No homers. Walks and strikeouts. We got 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-3. 2-4, 3-4, 4-4, 4-5. 4 walks and 5 Ks. So Seaver had a little bit of a control problem today. And he can only lose it unless they get this run home from third. Charles on third, Harrelson on first. Boswell also a pretty good bunter. They'll play the corners in. They're trying to cut off the run at the plate, but keep the double play in order. Gibson thinking one thing. Let me strike out Boswell. Boswell tough to strike out. Gibson glances at Charles. Charles not straying too far from the bag. Harrelson has no intentions of stealing right here. That run at third is too valuable. It is a 4. Patient 82, though. A fly ball out towards center field. Flood is there. But that's going to be deep enough to tie the game. So, oops. Forgot to put the pinch hitter in. Boswell gets the job done. A deep fly to center. And Charles comes racing home as the throw comes in. Nothing Gibson can do about that one. Boswell did what he's supposed to do. He put the bat on the ball, drove it to center, deep enough to get the run home, and it's a 3-3 game here, folks. Bottom of the 7th. Harrelson on first, 2 down. Here's Gibson. He'll face AG, who's 1 for 3. How about a 7-26 in play? Base hit! A 2-out base hit here for AG. Harrelson around second. He'll make it to third. AG's on at first. A 2-out hit for Tommy, and Gibson might be tiring. Is that even a thing he does? I don't think so, but the Mets are finding a few hits here and there today, and it's a tied game. The go-ahead run 90 feet away in Harrelson. And it's Rod Gaspar's turn. Or is it? Gaspar is a single, a hit by pitch, and a ground out today. But he's not a great hitter against righties. Let's see what the options are. There's no lefty. Well, there is one lefty left on the bench, but he sucks. Got the backup catcher. You're not going to use him. You're going to bring in a little bit better bat for Gaspar. It's going to be Ron Swoboda. So Gaspar's day is done. Swoboda will come in as a pinch hitter. And will probably stay in to play right field. In fact, we know he will, barring injury. So he's a right field D5, an 8 arm, not a great arm. A bit of a defensive downgrade. Well, he's a better defender actually. Same range, less arm. He's a run 7 and he steals not very often. So Swoboda steps in with 2 outs. Gaspar will take the rest of the day off. Harrelson on third, AG on first. Swoboda at the plate from the right side, righty on righty. Gibson is ready. 7-77. That's going to be a fly ball out towards center with 2 outs, not a big deal. Flood is there, and the side is retired. But the Mets do what they need to do. They get a run. Swoboda will stay in the game and play right. Boswell, I think, is going to hit the showers. He is. And we will have a new pitcher for New York. Who's it going to be? Let's see. I bet it's going to be the best they have available. They're going with Ronnie Taylor. That'll be a C, actually. So Ron Taylor will come in and try to win this one for New York. He's got his work cut out for him. He's actually a pretty good hitter. He's an 11. This 3 card goes away. Pardon me while I do some card management. Make sure we keep things where they belong. So tied up after 7. Taylor in the game. He will face 6, 7, 8. Shannon, Javier, and Maxwell. We've got a game, folks. Yeah, we've got a jumper as Taylor delivers his first pitch. It's a 9-33. Tough pitch and strikes him out. Shannon down on strikes. First time he was retired today. He's 2 for 2 with a walk coming into that at bat. He had Seaver's eye, but doesn't do as well against Taylor. So 1 down. Here's Javier, who's 0 for 2 today. Scored a run on a hit by pitch. How about a 3? That's tough. 63. Fly ball out toward right. Swoboda being tested, but no problem there. 2 away quickly, and here's Maxwell. 3-3 game, top of the 8th. 2 outs for St. Louis. How about a 350? It's going to be tough and just out of the hit range. Grounded down to third. Charles is there. And the side is retired. A 1-2-3 for Taylor. He does his job. Gibson will come back out. He's due to lead off in the 9th. It's going to be 3-4-5. Garrett, Jones, and Cranepool against Bob. Gibson with the delivery, a 5-33 patient, and a base on balls. Not good news. Wayne Garrett throws a base on balls to start things off, and that's going to bring up Cleon Jones. Jones a heck of a hitter. Let's see what they're going to do here. Will they keep the hit and run going? You know Gibson's thinking about it. He throws over Trying to keep Garrett close just in case. They'll want to stay out of the double play here, so I wouldn't be surprised if the runner's moving. Gibson from the stretch, and there goes the runner. That's a 12. Wheelhouse check for Cleon Jones, pardon me, 29. That's going to be a base hit. A clean single into left field. Garrett quickly around second on his way to third as the throw comes in. It's cut off. And things just got interesting, folks. Cleon Jones with a base hit. Garrett to third. It is the go-ahead run right there. And they will have to bring the infield in. That's a difficult situation for Gibson. First and third, nobody out. And Cranepool coming to the plate. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored today. Gibson did strike him out last time up. Bottom of the 8th, tied at 3. First and third, nobody out. The infield is drawn in. Let's get the infield in chart ready just in case. How about a 5.56? That's a patient again. And this one's in the air toward left field. That could be deep enough. Brock is going back. It's going to be deep enough. A sac fly will give New York a 4-3 lead. Garrett comes home easily. Jones retreats to first. Cranepool with a sac fly RBI, and the Mets lead 4-3. And Gibson can't believe it. Well, Jones still on at first, and there's Charles. Just want to see Jones is. They've been manufacturing runs today, and you can bet Jones is thinking about going on the pitch. Gibson throws over once, twice, third time, and the crowd's getting restless here in Shea. They don't like it. They're booing Gibson. They want to see him come after this batter. And they're imploring their Mets to keep it going. Here's Charles. And sure enough, Jones is on the run. A hit and run again. 10 in play, 52. Midgie likes it. She likes it a lot. Down to third. We got to see what's going on with the corners in. The infield in, that's a 6. Runner on third out at home. Batter safe. There is no runner on third. Well, the infield wouldn't be in, pardon me. I don't know why I was thinking the infield was in. So that's just a G5. And that is going to be a double play, pardon me. So grounder down to Shannon. He gets it over to Javier and on to Torrey for the 5-4-3 double play. The dog has liked it. I got distracted. And that'll end the inning. But the Mets, they get the run they need. And as we go to the 9th, Ron Taylor has a chance to win it. He's going to face, well, will he face Gibson? Probably not. Gibson's a good hitter, but he's not that good. Or is he? 4-3 New York, top of the 9th. St. Louis. Go. With a chance. Well, they don't have much on the bench, folks. Well, there's Bill White. So Gibson's day is done. He goes 8. He can only lose it. Well, that's not true. If they tie it up, he could still win it. And the pinch hitter will be Bill White. I apologize for the rambunctious doggies. They were being pretty good for this whole game. Knew it couldn't last. Just knew. But that's all right. We're having fun. Hope it didn't shatter anybody's ears. So Taylor will face the lefty White to lead off the 9th. Here's Ron. Faced 3 batters, got all 3 out. White making his first at bat of the day. That's a tough pitch, 37. White's down on strikes. There's 1 away here in the 9th. The Mets on the verge of going 6-0 to start the season. If Taylor can get 2 more outs. Here's Brock. He's 1 for 4 today. A couple of runs driven in. How about a 7 in play, 84. That's a grounder down to the usual suspect, Garrett, and over to Cranepool, and there's 2 down. Curt Flood is the last hope for these visiting Cardinals. The last hope for them to avoid a 1-5 start. Flood 1 for 4 today. Adorable hitter. Taylor is ready from the stretch, as relievers are wont to do. That's a 4, patient 12, and Flood lays off and keeps this game alive. He will draw base on balls. Well, don't you know it? That's in his steal range. That's a C against Grody's 2. So, Pinson steps in. The pitch to Pinson. Flood's on the way. Pinson lets the ball go by. It's low for ball one. That is a 736. Let's see. That's, give me one sec. A C. And Grody's a 2-arm. What a way to end the game, folks. Grody guns it down. Harrelson applies the tag, and Flood is out. He's caught stealing for the final out. He was trying to get in scoring position. You can't blame him for that. But that'll do it. Taylor gets the win. Believe that. Gibson will suffer the loss in the complete game 8-inning effort. Seaver gets a no decision. And that's our ball game, folks. What a game. What a tight one. So 1 walk and 2 Ks for Taylor. That's his whole line as he gets his first win of the season. And we've wrapped up the first week of 1969 here in Payoff Pitch Baseball. The drugs are welcome here. Oh, dogs are welcome here. I thought that said drugs. I was trying to figure out what we were talking about, D. Scott Howard. Dogs are always welcome. Doggies and baseball go together with beer, don't they? No beer tonight, though, for me. Well, that's how we wrap it up, folks. Let's see what Gibson's line was. He went 8. He will take the loss. That's a shame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits for Gibson. 4 runs, obviously. Those 2 are earned. That one's earned. They're all earned. No homers. 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, 0-5, 1-5, 1-6. 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. So both teams had scrappy offenses tonight. A lot of hitting and running, a lot of steal attempts, a few sac flies, a couple of hit by pitches. But in the end, it is the New York Mets who improved to 6-0 on the 69 season with a 4-3 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals. Happy to be back on the air, folks. My name is Joe. This has been JC Sports Replays. I hope whatever you're doing tonight, you have a good one. We'll try to be back sometime this week with another broadcast for you and some additional channel content coming your way in pre-recorded fashion. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the broadcast, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps me out a lot. And if you're new to the team, don't forget to follow for all this great baseball action here on JC Sports Replays. Once again, my name's Joe, and thank you for hanging out with me. Have a wonderful evening.